Hello, my name is Emily. I'm here today to talk to you about a product called Nevr. Nevr, I got Nevr when we got a piece of brass, a lamp that had brass on it, and that's what the person that we purchased it from said. So it's actually called the magic wadding polish, and it is used a lot in automotive people that want to shine their metal on their car and stuff of this nature. But I was looking at this book called Artist Trading Card Workshop by Bernice Berlin. And on page, excuse me, on page 32 in the book, she has how you can use Nevr. You see the topic at the top. And she says this is a technique that she learned. And she says Nevr is usually a metal polish and cleaner, but along with removing dirt and tarnish from many types of metal, it also does a fine job of removing the toner from magazine pages. And so you never know when you make something how exactly it's going to turn out, how it's going to turn out exactly. So she has step-by-step instructions, and the reason is because the reason that I purchased the book is because I wanted to learn some new techniques. The book isn't new or anything. It's been around for a while. But can you imagine if you wanted to decorate some tags for journals? There's just lots of ideas. So she says here that you need a magazine image, so basically glossy, and the thicker the glossy, the better. So a real thin magazine, like regular magazines that we read, Cosmopolitan, Good Housekeeping, those pages in those magazines would be too thin. So you need to have something a little bit thicker. She says you need a gel medium and Nevr, and then if you wanted to do other activities on it, you could, like a painting, a pastel paint, or a glue to give it these spots, are actually glue that she dotted on it. But what I'm going to use is just regular things that we typically use when we are decorating a tag. And this is the magazine that I just happen to have, Fine Art Connoisseur, and it's a lot of all the book. The pages are a lot of scenes and so forth and so on. And so, like, here's a big mushroom. Here's a gourd or something over. So lots of different pictures. Wow, can you imagine how pretty that would look? That you can go in and cut out, and that's what I did. I went in and I cut out a bunch of these, and I also found this Gardens and Magazines. It's 1998, so I found it at a thrift store. Just has beautiful pictures, and they're in the shiny gloss. So I did use a couple of these pictures as well. And what I did was I went in and I did that gloss gel medium. And this is the gel medium that I'm using. So what you do is you take a stencil and you put it on the top, and then you take, let's get the stencil here. So I'm going to use this stencil right here, and I'm going to put it on the top of a picture, and that's what I did with this. And here are some that I've already done, and I don't know if you can see if I turn it a certain way, but you may be able to see where I put some of the where I put lots of different stencils. on these, and if you can see the mark from the stencil that the gel medium makes. So I've done several of these, and here's one that I did out of that book, and it's going to take a while to scrub that off, and I thought I would use this somehow. But anyway, so let's go ahead and let me get started. I'm going to take one of these pictures that I have pulled up that don't have a finish on them, and I'm going to warn you that it is probably a good idea to wear gloves, because this gets on everything. It does get, and it is hard to take off the gel medium. So here's one that I'm going to do, and I'm going to put this on top. It's a nice, picture. I could see it being cut, cut and used in a tag. And I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to put my glove on. And I'm left-handed, so I've got to do that. And I'm going to take this, it's easy to work with the top of this, and I'm going to put a layer of this gel medium on here. And then I'm going to take a little sponge, and I'm going to just take the piece of this and lay it like this, and then I just dab it on the, and you do need to wash this now this stencil is cardboard, so I'm not sure how it's going to wash up, but you put these down, and with using a gel medium, and what I'm using is Liquitex, and it tells, it says on the package that it's a gel medium. So I'm trying really careful not to get it too far off of the page. Alright, so that, and you immediately remove it, and you can see where I have put it on there. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's an example. So I'm going to set that aside and let it dry, and I'm going to pull one of these that I pulled out of one of those magazines, and I used a different stencil for this one. The stencil that I used is a bingo stencil, and it had all these numbers on it. So that's what I used. And now I'm going to take this Nevr, and I'm going to Nevr is not hard to touch. It feels soft, it feels fluffy, but you can smell it. It has you don't want to be in a closed room. I have a fan going in this room. Because it says tear off a small portion of wadding and rub the surface until all dirt is removed. Finish the surface by buffing with a soft, dry cloth until a brilliant luster forms. So I'm going to just start rubbing this. And rub it as hard or as soft as I want. The one that I finished just has the smoothest finish on it. And you almost don't want to cover it up with anything else because it just feels so good. But you can kind of see that there is now you can scrub it all off, or you can leave it, leave some of that finish on there. And probably want to cover it with something. whether it be a Mod Podge or a gloss of some sort. And I've got a couple that I think I'm going to be, trying on it. So once you scrub this and get it so that the color is out and it kind of has a 3D effect, if I scrubbed hard enough, I could scrub all those numbers off. But this is an interesting finish. Now let me wipe off this space. Make sure that I have this wiped off. Just simply because I don't want it. But anyway, we can now cut this out and make this into a tag. But the first thing I probably would want to do would be to put some sort of a finish on it. And I think the finish that I'm going to use is going to be an acrylic gel glitter glaze. So I just put a little bit on this. Oops. And then I'm going to, wipe it down so that it has, so that the numbers have a glossy look. I'm sure you don't have to put anything on the top, but it sure does look pretty from with the glaze of some sort on it. So what I used was Sargent acrylic glitter glaze. Used as a medium or overcoat. Super for scrapbooking. Non-toxic. Good. Alright, so that is that. Now once that dries, then I will be able to cut it out and put some more finishes on it. Let me go ahead and cut. Because this would be about the size that I would want the tag to be. And once I finish the tag, then I would of course back it with a piece of cardstock, a heavy cardstock. Probably, and I have some 110, I think, cardstock that I could put on there. But what an interesting, finish you can get. So let me try one more. Here's one that I put a big flower on, I can see. So let me take some of this Everdell. Now, as you can see, I used this much of the Everdell, Nevr. But you can turn this around and, and then and reuse it. And Nevr lasts forever. So and here's an example of one. This one is actually scrubbing some of the color off of the picture, but it still gives you, or you still feel like there is a 3D appearance in here. Of course, I could scrub and scrub and scrub. And so you kind of see that you have a variety of a look here. Some of the flower is coming through and showing. I probably want to iron this. And then maybe I might take something like this Distress Oxide. This is Abandoned Coral. And just do a little roundabout. Do a little turn with it to give it sort of a look. that, you know, will go right into the finish, and you can kind of see the 3D look in it. What a neat idea to use this for this. And then, of course, you know, I would take any number of different things and make a cut up and make maybe, you know, a 3D color such as that, or I might even take a flower and put it in here, or there's lots of different sorts of little bits and tags and you know, bows, buttons, everything like that that you can put on, you know, here to decorate it up. And it just makes for a nice, neat, unique look and to work with. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll put my email in the description box below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you try this, how it goes for you. So we'll talk again. Thanks for coming along and watching this.